Well, we're now joined by the Minister of Labour, Seamus O'Regan. Seamus, thank you for joining us.
Great to be back in CPAC.
Well, listen, obviously this is a big gathering for your party, and without a doubt, this is about rallying the troops, making sure they go back into their ridings and, preach the Bible, as according to the Liberal Party. I'm wondering if you feel that has been accomplished for the people gathered here in Ottawa.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I am really happy with this conference. I mean, you got 4,500 people here. I'm really amazed whenever they ask at the beginning of a session how many people here. It's their first convention, and the vast majority of those are young people. That's really good to see. Frankly, I'd say it's really good to see for any political party that you have young people that are still inspired to join mainstream political parties and to affect change from within the inside. But I'm particularly happy it's my political party.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, you speak to pollsters, they point to young voters as being key in the next vote in terms of, it might be obvious in terms of growing a base, but, this party, the Conservative Party, certainly the Democrats, working very actively to try to get that vote. So that's why you find that encouraging?
Yeah, as they were in 2015 for us, massively. And not just in terms of numbers or even, volunteering, going door to door, calling, having conversations. It's the way that they infuse some new ideas in our party and completely renew it every time, They drive a lot of our priorities, right? Including on climate, for instance, or on daycare, on childcare, on a lot of these issues. It was driven by our younger flank. I'm always impressed when I'm, sitting down with some young Liberals today, talking about some issues that, that they have on they're happy with sick days and what we've done there. They'd like it extended to vacation days. Like, they've got lots of great ideas. And I remember being a young Liberal and being at these conventions, and it brings back a lot of fond memories.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, you told a story once about trying to give somebody a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to convince them to be a Liberal when you were actually a kid. But, that said, though...
I'm not an advocate of bribery in our political process. I don't want to infer anything.
No, that was a long time ago. But listen, obviously, your party is hoping to score a fourth mandate. Whenever the next election comes, be that 2024, 2025, you want a fourth mandate. But historically, as you know, a near impossibility in this country. Most parties are voted out after 10 years. Do you think the enthusiasm that you're pointing to is enough to overcome the doubts Canadians have about giving your government a fourth term?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's no sure things. I don't know the answer to that question. People will decide that. I don't think there's any question that, if you look at historical fact, or if you look at I think that through osmosis, through the American process, 2 presidential terms at 8 years is kind of when people start to get the itch and think that things need to be renewed. But you can provide that change to them, and you can also make sure that from within, but you can also point to what are your choices. And is this, is this the kind of serious politician that you want and need? And is that person the type of serious politician that you want and need in very serious times when we're facing very serious issues? These were words that the Prime Minister reiterated in his speech. I'm biased. I thought it was a really good speech. Yeah, well, and those notes, those chords resonated with me.
Well, when I think of that speech, while the Prime Minister reminded us of sunny ways, he did not hold back on hitting against Pierre Poilievre. So is that what the next campaign is going to be fought on, a choice between Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre?
Well, you've got to contrast. You have to contrast. I mean, Lord knows we were in 2015 and 2019 and 2021. That's part of it. You've got to make sure that people know the choices that they're making. You draw the line at, dirty politics and all that sort of thing, but pointing out people's, policy experience, their policy choices, and where they want to take the country, I got no problem pointing out contrast between where we are and where they are. I got no problem at all. I think that we continue to work on serious solutions for serious problems.
Well, except that when you look at the numbers right now, the Conservative Party has out-fundraised the Liberal Party. You look at the polls right now, and the vast majority of them have your party trailing Conservatives anywhere between 2 to 5 points. Yeah. So is that daunting in any way? Because you are, it seems, starting from behind.
We're a government with all the ups and downs of being in the spotlight as a result of being in the government, and with, sometimes you don't always get it right? And I think that's important. I think people appreciate and understand that. At the end of the day, what they will do in their busy lives, and everyone's busy, and there are those of us who pay attention to politics, every day of every week, regardless of where you fall within a government's tenure. And there are a lot of people who frankly pay attention in the last 3 weeks of a campaign because they're busy, because they got jobs and kids and grandchildren and lives. And, when they check in, they want to know, is the government on the right track, and is it led by good people who are doing their best? And as long as you can pass that litmus test compared to the others that you're competing against, you have a shot. Absolutely.
Well, except that, you listen to Pierre Poilievre, and he'll clearly point out your government's not on the right track. He makes the argument because people are struggling with the affordability of life, not getting the health care that they need. And so that message actually has resonance with a number of Canadians.
No, it does, because people are going through affordability issues. And then there is, we do have to work harder on housing, and we are doing our level best on that. But there are issues, and they're feeling it, right? At the end of the day, you can keep criticizing, and that's what you're supposed to do if you're in the opposition. But as we get closer to a campaign, whenever that may be, we, Canadians, are going to be demanding that we know what their solutions are. And so far, I got to tell you, I don't have much confidence in their solutions, in what they showed in 2019 or in 2021. So bring it on.
Okay. Well, we're watching whenever the next vote may be.
I know you're watching.
Yeah, it's our mandate. Listen, Seamus O'Regan, thank you very much for the time.